Hey my beautiful saucies, it is your girl Exotical Sauce coming back at you with another video. And today I want to talk about rich men or men in general and how they literally clock everything that women do. I'm starting to notice a trend on a lot of the dating YouTube videos or content creators like Kendra G. She showcases a lot of women on her platform that are constantly like requesting a high value man. So I'm assuming that that term means rich men or men with, men of means, men who make over $100,000 a year or better. Some of the women say that they make that, so they want men that make that as well. And oftentimes the women that want these men or want attention from these men, they get on Kendra G, where I don't think that that's where you're going to find a lot of high value men or rich men. They're not going to watch Kendra G. But anyway, they get on Kendra G and they say they make that, but they don't quite look like they do. So when I say women that say they make $100,000 a year, they don't look like they do. I'm simply referring to like the background. A lot of times women have like these old dusty apartments, or they're living in like, they may have like clothes everywhere. You can like get a glimpse of their background, and they have stuff in general all over the place in the background, and they have like clothing or just dusty looking blinds or a sheet on the wall, sheet on the window, or they just don't look like they make a large amount of money. And then a lot of women get up there and they say they have 3 or 4 kids by 3 or 4 different men, or they've been engaged once or twice. And I've been accused of sounding a lot like the red pill gang on YouTube, but it's not that I'm red pill. I'm not red pill. I'm strictly an exotical, and I'm for the exotical community. Unambiguous women are welcome, but strictly I'm for MLS women. So if you think I sound like a red pill, then so be it. But it's women that actually get on large platforms like TikTok and Kendra G in general, mostly women, and they say they want a certain kind of man, and they make demands, and they feel bold enough, because a lot of women make the mistake of believing that sex and being able to cook is the two, or are the two things that will attract a husband. And that's just simply not true. So if you're one of those kinds of women, just know and listen, take it from your saucy big sis. That's not all it takes, especially to get the kind of man that you want. A lot of women get bold enough to get on Kendra G and different dating sites and demand, well, the guy has to be this tall, he has to look like this, he has to make this much money. And those are actual like bold demands when women are not giving guys what they want. I used to be the kind of woman that would like look at Kevin Samuels and say, you know what, you're full of, I don't like, you're crazy. But you can actually learn a lot from them if you really just listen to them and put your emotions aside. You really can learn a lot from them. And keep in mind, it is women that are getting on these platforms saying how lonely they are, and men are not showing up at singles events, and they want a man. And being a single mom is the most honorable thing that you can be. And I really don't understand why a lot of single mothers get a lot of hate. It's a hard job. And like I said before in my previous video when I did a reaction to Kendra G, a lot of men have multiple children just like women do. They just don't have them in their custody. So they're able to move around as they please, date whoever they want. They come home to a very peaceful and quiet apartment or a peaceful home. They don't have to worry about school and soccer games or football games, basketball practice. They don't have to worry about that. Doctor's appointments, dental, vision, cooking meals. What is everyone going to eat for tonight? Are your clothes washed? Bedtime, stuff like that, right? Homework. Women, single mothers in particular, go through a lot, and they have stressful lifestyles. So if you are a single woman and you've already had children, regardless of the fact if your baby dad, if he died, if you never got married, or if you have been married and you're divorced, you can't put the children back. But one mistake a lot of women do make is that they don't clean up their image. Like, you have to really clean up your image and watch what you're portraying to the world, because men literally can freaking clock everything that you do. Like, a lot of women make the mistake of believing that a lot of men, they just want one thing, and because women have that one thing between their legs, that's enough to get a guy. And as long as she's physically fit and makes her own money, blah, 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 that, that's enough. But picture it like this, right? So you got this beautiful plate, right? No, better yet, instead, picture this. So a group of guys who appear to be like these high value men who have like money and stuff. So like one guy orders a plate of food, right? He orders a plate of food with a steak on it and potatoes and shrimp and asparagus and all this butter sauce, right? And it's this beautifully presented plate in front of him. And then he's a high value guy, right? He's got expensive clothes on. He's got this nice suit. He's all, well put together, moisturized up, expensive suit, expensive jewelry, just quiet money, just quietly sitting there at the table. And he orders this beautiful plate, and he's sitting down with a group of like other men at the table, right? So this guy places his order. He gets this beautiful plate of food, and it's very beautifully presented, and it's hot, smells great, right? So the guy sitting next to him says, "Hey man, slide that over here." So the guy starts like picking and pinching off the steak and licking his fingers and sticking it back into the plate and grabbing an asparagus. Then the guy sitting next to him is like, "No man, let me see that. Let me pass that plate over here." So he grabs a couple of shrimp off of that plate. He pinches off the steak some more, sticks his hands and like licks his fingers and sticks his hands back in the plate, and then grabs another piece of shrimp, and then another guy grabs it. "Hey man, let me get some of that." So they pinch off the steak too, right? And it goes around the whole table. So after all the guys have picked over the plate and took like shrimp off of it and pinched off the steak, and the butter sauce is all over everywhere, and these guys lick their fingers and put their hands back in the plate, and now the asparagus has teeth marks in it, and the shrimps are gone, and the butter sauce is all over everywhere, and the plate looks a mess, right? So when it gets back to the original guy that ordered it, now the plate looks a mess, and the waiter comes along and tells him, "Okay, so I want $100 for the food that you ordered." When the guy takes a look at the plate and says, "Hey, this is not worth this $100." Of course, this is a hypothetical story and hypothetical little price. Of course, that plate doesn't cost $100, but he gives him the check and he says, "Hey, $100 for the plate you ordered." He said, "Hey man, this is not worth the $100. Like 3 or 4 guys literally picked on the plate. They picked off of it. They ate off of it. And I literally have 4 other guys, like 3 other guys' DNA on this plate. It looks a mess, and it's not worth the $100 that you're trying to charge me." So I know this is going to sound kind of fucked up, but the plate is the woman on Kendra G and those kinds of shows, or those kinds of women. The plate that's in shambles after the men picked all over it is literally represents the woman. The other guys that picked on the plate represents the baby daddies that you had in your life, that you have in your past. And the guy originally that ordered it, the high value man that ordered the plate, is the guy that you want, or the guy that you're seeking. And literally the woman who is requesting that high value man with all the baby daddies, that plate that is in shambles now, that's not worth the $100, that literally represents the woman. That is what you look like when you're on Kendra G with 3 baby daddies and your apartment is in shambles. That's literally what you look like to that high value man. You're not worth the $100,000 a year that you're saying that you want. Your body is not right. Your body is not in shape. You don't have on makeup. You're not put together. No, you can't undo being a single mom, and nobody should ever want to. Being a single mother or a mother in general, single or not, is the biggest rewards anyone could possibly ever ask for or possibly could ever have. So you should never apologize or be feeling like you should be ashamed because you're a mom. That is the most rewarding things you could ever do, is be a mom or be a father, right? So whoever feels like it's okay for them to walk out on their children, they're despicable and disgusting in my book. But it's women that get on Kendra G and they request these high value men, and they're not put together themselves. Now, when I say men literally clock everything that you do, they clock everything that you do. They look at what you wear. They look at how you wear it. They look at the kind of tattoos that you wear. They literally think that women who wear certain kinds of tattoos, like I heard a guy mention something about butterfly tattoos, and they even categorize women based on that. If you have a butterfly tattoo, then you're this kind of woman or whatever. You're a hoe or whatever they said. They look at your your hair. They look at, is it a wig? Is it your real hair? What kind of wig? A lace front? How are you wearing it? Oh, that looks like a drag queen. Oh, look at those huge baby hairs. They look at your clothing. Is it tight? Is it form fitting? Is it sexy? Is it classy? Or is it hoish looking? Literally, they clock everything. They don't say much. They're just very quiet. And a lot of women tend to overlook that or dismiss a lot of men and what they're saying when they say that they want this kind of woman or that kind of woman. So if you want to be a wife or you want a relationship, you really have to think about, whether you're a mother or not, you really have to think about, single mother, divorce, whatever. You have to think about your image and what you are putting out there to the rest of the world. If you're wearing clothing and it's see-through and you have no underwear on, or you have a thong and you have no bra on, but your whole outfit is see-through, and you think you're being sexy and you're not revealing too much, but you're being sexy, even if your body is together, men look at it like, well, if I can see your breast, that means every other man out there can see your breast too, and so no thanks. You can be as beautiful as you want to be. You can be put together, made up, whatever. You can be a knockout, and they don't care if you are showing too much. They don't want another man looking at your goods, right? So that's how men think. They literally clock everything. So another example, like say, picture this, right? Picture two women who are single, two single moms. They live in the home with their children. Excuse me. One woman is like kind of ratchet and the other one isn't. They both work regular jobs and they just take care of their kids. But one woman, the outside of her house, right? The hedges are overgrown. There are no flowers outside. There's no welcome mat. There's no porch furniture. It looks terrible. The gutters are full of leaves and debris, and crabgrass are growing between the cracks of the sidewalk. There's no effort put into the front of that woman's house, because she feels like, well, hey, I'm renting this house. It's just a temporary place for me and my kids to sleep in and live in. And she's strictly in survival mode. She's going to work every day. She's supporting her kids and she's supplying the bare minimum. She doesn't really care what other people think. And it is what it is. It's not my job to cut the grass or clip the hedges. It's the landlord's job. I live here, but this is not my house. I don't own it, blah, blah, blah. So what would you think of if you saw a home like that? If you saw the front of a house with the grass overgrown and the hedges not cut, and it just looks sloppy and it looks a mess? Me personally, if I saw a home like that, I would wonder, like, wow, why don't they clean up? It looks unsightly, right? From the outside looking in, like, to me, just if I were just to be a regular passerby and I see toys in the front yard and whatever trash just blew off the street into your yard and you didn't even care enough to pick it up, whether you're renting or not, you don't look like a person that has dignity or self-respect. You don't look like the kind of person that cares about what you look like or how you present yourself to the world. You don't look like you're somebody that is stable. You look like your life's a mess. Your life is in chaos and in shambles. And if it looks like that on the outside, I can just about imagine what it looks like on the inside. The inside is probably full of clothes, and you have broken blinds in the front window where everybody can see it. You don't have any charm to the front of the house. You don't have anything feminine in front of the house. And you are a woman, and you're not portraying feminine or like femininity or softness to the rest of the world, because women like flowers. And some women who are younger or whatever, they might feel like that's old-fashioned, that's stuff that my grandma does. I'm young, why would I want to be a grandma? Why would I want to portray myself as a grandma? And that's really the wrong thing to portray, especially if you want a meaningful relationship and you want to attract the right kind of guys. Otherwise, if you're just portraying to everyone like, hey, I'm renting this house, it's not my job to cut the grass, I don't care, and that's what you're typically going to attract. You're going to attract people that don't care. They're going to come around and think that, hey, you're down for whatever, right? Maybe I'm being a little bit extreme, but that is what it looks like from the outside to a regular person just passing by, versus the other woman who stays next door to you. She's also a single mother. She works, but she takes the time to cut her grass, regardless of the fact if she's renting or not. She takes the time to cut her grass. Either she has a lawnmower, she does it herself, or she has her sons do it, or she pays someone to cut her grass and clip the hedges. She'll take the time to go out and like pull that little crabgrass that grows up between the cracks of the sidewalk in front of the house. She'll sweep the curb. She'll put hanging baskets or flowers out. She'll put plants out. She'll decorate the porch with like these little, like the little sitting area with some like cute little outdoor furniture and candles. Take the time to put curtains up to her window and new blinds, and take down the ones that are torn and tattered and dusty, and she'll put new blinds up, and she'll put curtains up, and she'll put plants outside on the front porch, a welcome mat, she'll put wind chimes up over the door. She'll look like that she cares. And so the person passing by would think, oh, this woman has dignity, she has self-respect, she's very feminine, she's very stable, she looks like she has qualities of a wife. Now, if a guy who had high value man tendencies, not necessarily a rich guy, but someone across the street who's Christian and has all those little, like integrity and loyalty and all those little qualities that women say that they want in men, just in his character, and he lived across the street, and he looks at one woman's house, the one that doesn't cut her grass versus the one that does cut her grass and puts flowers out, which one do you think he would be more drawn to? He'd be more drawn to the woman that exudes the qualities of someone who doesn't mind getting her hands dirty to beautify her home. Whether she owns the home or not is irrelevant. The fact that she lives there and the fact that she inhabits that home and she cares about the image of the home. So without even being able to see the inside of the home of the woman who puts the flowers out, you would assume that her house is clean, her house is orderly, her house is beautiful, just as beautiful inside as it is on the outside. Maybe the walls are freshly painted and everything is neat and clean. There's everything in its place and a place for everything, or place for everything and everything in its place, right? The clothes are folded and clean. It smells great in there. And she comes out and she keeps her car clean. She keeps everything clean and orderly. You're going to get a totally different impression of that woman. You're going to think that this woman has great qualities that I like in a woman. And she would most likely get the attention and the respect of the rest of the neighborhood. And nobody would think that she's lazy, and nobody think that she just is someone that doesn't care. She would, you could just clean up your image and embrace a more classier image. So that's what I mean by clean up your image. It's what you present to the world. And it's not necessarily just, do your hair, but how are you wearing your hair? Is the makeup flattering? Does it just enhance the beauty that's already there? Or are you wearing these extra large bat wing eyelashes that don't look natural at all, that is associated with drag queens and RuPaul and the drag queen show? Are you wearing natural looking wigs or natural looking extensions that looks like it's your real hair, or it could be your real hair? Or are you wearing something that's obviously a lace front? Are you wearing pajamas outside? Are you wearing a bonnet outside? Are you wearing a scarf? I'm guilty of the same thing. Sometimes I wear a bonnet. I used to do that until Monique made that great point that she made, so I stopped doing that shit. Pajama pants, house shoes, no. I don't do that anymore because it does look bad. It looks really bad. Are you taking care of your body? Are you healthy? Are you looking healthy? Do you have good exercise regimen? Do you have a good skincare regimen? Do you exude beautiful qualities? Do you smile? Do you have a warm and welcoming look on your face, or are you mean and mad at the world? Do you look mean? You have to pay attention to all of that. Guys literally clock that. The expression on your face, how you wear your makeup, how you wear your hair. Is it natural? Is it not natural? Are you smiling? Are you not smiling? Because there's a difference between being overly glammed up and actually having class. Class is not something you can buy in a store. It's not something that is going to be reflected in a wig, or how much, or how expensive your clothes are. That's not really what class is. Are you dressed well, where you're covering up all of your feminine reproductive organs? Are you not wearing a lot of cleavage? I mean, you don't have to show a lot of cleavage in order to get attention. I'm quite sure each and every last one of you women are very beautiful. You have beautiful attributes, eyes, your smile, something that you can enhance and draw attention to. So think about all of that stuff, because literally they clock every single thing that you do. And I didn't know this until I got to be older, and I want my exoticals to go out and know this because nobody taught me this stuff. So if you want a husband in a meaningful relationship, just keep that stuff in mind. Keep it in mind, guys. Clock every freaking thing that you do. How you walk, how you dress, how you talk. Are you warm and welcoming in the face, or are you not? Just keep that in mind. Okay, guys, that is my video for today. I love each and every last one of you. Thank you so much for listening. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment and let me know what you think. And I will see you saucies next time.